Hey everyone, how's it going? It wasn't long ago when we were looking at the Wolftooth remotes as the remotes to have in the marketplace. For me, it was until I discovered the Shimano dropper remotes, either the XTR or MT800 or actually the Deore, the new one, which I would recommend because this one has 9mm cable pull as opposed to XTR, which is only 7. But if you ever looked at this boutique German company, BikeYoke, they say that their Triggy remote is the best in the marketplace. Is that true? Let's check it out. And since I mentioned the Shimano as my new standard, I'm going to take a look at this in comparison. So first of all, this is more of a simplistic approach when it comes to packaging and what's being shipped. What you see here is what you get. This is the newest remote they have, the Triggy Alpha, which is a universal remote with 11mm cable pull. And when you're buying it, you're getting the inner cable and the tiny end cap. There is no attachment for the handlebar or any brakes. However, you can buy those separately. In my case, I bought this I-spec EV adapter because I'm gonna install it on Shimano brakes, but you gotta keep in mind that this is adding extra cost to the remote. Shimano comes with the SP41 housing and the inner cable, and this only comes in I-spec EV attachment, or in case of the Deore, you have the version that attaches directly to your handlebar. For those of you wondering about weight, Shimano is 42 grams with that little insert, and BikeYoke in the same I-spec EV configuration is 46 grams, so 4 grams difference between the two. Straight out of the box, this is beautifully machined, anodized aluminum with laser etched inscriptions. You see the paddle that is actually perforated, so if you have debris on your glove, they're going to be pushed out and still give you good grip. And if you look carefully at the packaging, you're going to see that this one says Triggy Alpha Short. That is because they do have a long version of this 7mm longer lever that gives you more leverage required by some droppers. Unlike some of their older remotes, this is universal, and you can imagine the inner cable coming through here, and you can see that pinch bolt just securing the inner cable in place. You can see that this is evolving around that large bearing that actually makes this movement very smooth. The typical barrel adjustment here at the end of it that allows you to adjust the cable tension, and you have two positions to install this onto your adapter. This one has grooves on the paddle as opposed to the holes on the Triggy. I think the Triggy might give you slightly better grip if nothing else, and the paddle on the Triggy seems to be about the same size as the Shimano. This type of installation is very common on the dropper post remotes these days. In my case, I mentioned that I'm gonna install it with the I-spec EV adapter for the latest Shimano brakes, and that would make it very similar to this Shimano remote. And when I looked at the installation of this, it got me thinking about the SRAM bar clamps, and guess what? If you have one around the house anywhere, look at this, it fits perfectly, so you don't have to buy the bar clamp from BikeYoke. You can use the SRAM bar clamp. That also means that you can install this BikeYoke remote with the SRAM matchmaker that again you might have around the house, so you don't have the extra expense of the attachments. How much leverage do they provide? Well, the Shimano remote is about 5 centimeters long from the center of the axle, and if you look at the Triggy Alpha Short, this is no different, right around 5 centimeters long, so you shouldn't expect more leverage from this than the Shimano. But while the Shimano lever is in one position and one position only, the BikeYoke showed some innovation in providing us an adjustable position or angle of this paddle, very similar to what SRAM does with their X01 and XX1 shifters. So if you take a 3mm Allen key to this bolt, then you can adjust the position of the lever relative to this mounting bracket. This might not be the biggest invention since sliced bread, but it's definitely a welcome addition to a dropper remote. And once attached to the bars or brake, you can move it into the desired position, making it a bit more ergonomic, I guess. then you would obviously tighten that bolt up just to lock it in position. So all in all, a very well designed remote. I like this bracket, is very well designed as well, and it fits perfectly with my I-spec EV brakes. German engineering, or quality if you want to call it that. So what do you guys think? Good remote for you? Have you ever used BikeYoke products, the Triggy as a remote? I would love to hear your comments in the section below. If you found this useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Until next time, hope to see you folks on the trails. Cheers, guys. Cheers.